You've been lied to about success. You've been told that success is a straight line, a polished surface, a perfect record. You've been taught to hide your mistakes, to bury your bankruptcies, and to mask your insecurities. But perfection is a fragile illusion. The person who has never failed is a person who has never been tested. And in the real world, the world of high-stakes business, brutal competition, and unpredictable chaos, the untested are the first to shatter. Think about your most painful moment, the project that collapsed, the relationship that ended in ruins, the dream that was crushed by reality. At that moment, you felt broken. You felt like a discarded piece of ceramic, useless and devalued. But what if I told you that being broken is the prerequisite for becoming unbreakable? In 15th century Japan, they discovered a secret that modern psychology is only now beginning to understand. They didn't throw away broken pottery. They didn't try to hide the cracks with invisible glue. Instead, they repaired them with gold. They called it Kintsugi. And today, I am going to show you how to apply this ancient philosophy as a modern strategy to turn your deepest scars into your greatest competitive advantage. This isn't about getting over failure. It's about using failure to forge a version of yourself that is more valuable than the original. Part 1. The Legend of the Golden Repair. To understand the strategy, you must understand the origin. Legend has it that the Japanese shogun Ashikaga Yoshimasa sent a broken Chinese tea bowl back to China for repairs. It returned held together by ugly, functional metal staples. It was fixed, but it was hideous. The Japanese craftsmen were unsatisfied. They saw the bowl not as a ruined object, but as an object with a history. They mixed lacquer with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. They filled the cracks with precious metal. When they were finished, the bowl was no longer fixed. It was transformed. The cracks weren't hidden, they were highlighted. The bowl became more beautiful, more durable, and infinitely more valuable than a brand new one. In your life, the metal staples are the ways you try to hide your failures. You pretend they didn't happen, you make excuses, you try to look perfect to your peers, but those staples are weak. They don't heal the spirit, they only hold the pieces in a state of tension. The Kintsugi strategy requires you to stop hiding the cracks and start pouring gold into them. Part 2. The fragility of perfection. Why is a perfect record a liability? Because perfection breeds fragility. If you have never experienced a catastrophic failure, you lack anti-fragility, a concept coined by Nassim Taleb. An anti-fragile system doesn't just survive shocks, it gets better because of them. The person who has had an easy path is like a sheet of pristine glass, beautiful to look at, but one drop from a significant height and they are gone forever. They don't know how to navigate the shatter point. They don't know how to breathe in the middle of a crisis. When you fail, the old you dies. That's why it hurts. The ego that thought it was invincible is destroyed, but this destruction is a gift. It reveals the structural weaknesses in your character, your business model, or your mindset. Failure provides you with data that success could never give you. Success is a terrible teacher. It makes you think you're smarter than you are. Failure is a master. It shows you exactly where you are weak. In the marketplace, a Kintsugi leader is more dangerous than a golden boy. Why? Because the Kintsugi leader has already seen the worst. They have been through the fire. They cannot be intimidated by the threat of failure because they have already survived its reality. Their scars are actually a map of lessons that their competitors haven't learned yet. Part 3, the 3 phases of the golden repair. Applying Kintsugi to your life isn't a metaphor. It's a 3-step tactical process. Phase 1, gathering the shards, the radical audit. When you fail, your first instinct is to run away from the wreckage. You want to look at anything else. The Kintsugi strategy demands the opposite. You must sit with the shards. You must perform a radical audit. Why did it break? Was it your ego? Was it a lack of discipline? Was it an external market shift you ignored? You must collect every piece of the failure. Do not leave a single shard behind. If you don't own the failure, you can't use the gold. Phase 2, the urushi lacquer, patience and reflection. In Kintsugi, the lacquer takes time to dry. It cannot be rushed. This is where most people fail. They want to bounce back instantly. They want to start the next project the next day to drown out the pain. But without the drying period, the repair won't hold. You need the silence of the forge. You need a period of introspection where you integrate the lesson. This is where you develop the philosophy of the scar. You decide that this failure will not define you as a victim, but as a veteran. Phase 3, the gold, the strategic pivot. The gold is the unique insight you gained from the break. If your business failed because you didn't understand cash flow, your gold is a deep, obsessive mastery of finance. If your relationship failed because of a lack of communication, your gold is a radical transparency that makes your future connections unbreakable. You don't just go back to how things were. You use the gold to reinforce the breakpoints. You become strongest where you were once most broken. Part 4. Resilience as a moat in business. A moat is a competitive advantage that protects you from rivals. Most people think their moat is their technology, their capital, or their brand. They are wrong. In the long run, the only sustainable moat is psychological resilience. We are entering an era of radical uncertainty. AI, economic shifts, and global instability mean that everyone will eventually hit a shatter point. When the market crashes, the perfects will panic. They will freeze because they don't have the Kintsugi lacquer in their souls, they haven't practiced the art of the repair, but you will look at the chaos and recognize it. You will see the cracks forming and you will know exactly how to fill them with gold. You have a competitive advantage of pain. You know that a break is just the beginning of a transformation. This mindset makes you impossible to defeat. How do you stop someone who views every defeat as a way to increase their value? You can't. Part 5. The beauty of the scar. There is a profound aesthetic shift in Kintsugi. It moves from the beauty of the new to the beauty of the experienced. Stop trying to present a version of yourself that has never struggled. People don't connect with perfection. They connect with shared humanity. Your scars make you a better leader. They make you more empathetic. They make you more authentic. When you stand before your team, your clients, or your family, and you don't hide your golden cracks, you give them permission to be human too. You build a culture of Kintsugi resilience. The world breaks everyone, and afterward, many are strong at the broken places. Ernest Hemingway. Hemingway was describing Kintsugi. The strength isn't in the absence of the break, it's in the quality of the repair. Conclusion. Your turn in the forge. You are likely carrying a break right now, a secret shame, a failure you haven't processed, a shard of a dream that didn't come true. You have two choices. You can try to use the metal staples. You can stay bitter. You can hide the pieces. You can pretend you are fine while the structural integrity of your life slowly degrades. Or you can reach for the gold. You can decide today that your failure was not a waste of time, but a down payment on a more powerful version of yourself. You can choose to see the cracks as the most beautiful part of your story. The forge is hot. The lacquer is ready. The gold is waiting. Don't pray for a life without breaks. Pray for the wisdom to repair them with gold. Stop seeking perfection. Start seeking the golden repair. Be Kintsugi. Be unbreakable. Start now.